And that was our next guest, Lindsay Rhodes from the Lindsay Rhodes Show podcast on Sirius XM Channel 87. Her and Brian Baldinger chopping it up about the divisional round, which is upon us. And we all got our collective fingers crossed. We was talking about during the break, Lindsay, that they're much more entertaining than the wild card, Super Wild Card Weekend. Super Wild Card Weekend was anything but.
It was depressing.
But Michael and I, yeah, right. Michael and I were having this one of our usual arguments earlier in the show about the amount of pressure.
Arguments.
The amount of pressure on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Like, I'm struggling to imagine what Monday is going to be and sound like if the Packers, even against a talented 49ers team, if the Packers and Aaron Rodgers come up short again. Not just come up short of the Super Bowl, but even getting back to the NFC Championship game. It's going to be ugly, am I right?
Just because they're the obvious team. To me, they're the only team in the NFL that is in this conversation for good teams that hasn't experienced a roller coaster this year, right? Like, that's been the thing about the year, is that you look at, like, the Bills, well, they have gone like this, and the Bucs have done a little bit of that too, and the Rams have, like, every single one of them. The Packers are the only team. I mean, they laid an egg in week 1 for reasons that clearly had nothing to do with what they actually were as a football team. And so, they get a bye. They're the one team that has been consistently what we've expected them to be all season long. So in that regard, yes. I kind of feel like Aaron Rodgers, though, because of his status with the team and clearly all the leverage that he now has, after Jordan Love played in that game, I think everything changed in Green Bay, right? Like, this whole offseason, they should go to him on, bended knee, just begging and pleading for him to come back. He has so much leverage there. So I don't necessarily feel like he has a lot of pressure on him, because while from a legacy standpoint, a Super Bowl win is certainly important. I understand that that's important to him, but I think, he's in a position where we all understand that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, regardless of whether or not he's in a conversation with Tom Brady and like whatever in the long term. Those of us who have eyes and understand football know Aaron Rodgers is in that conversation, whether he wins a Super Bowl or not. So if he doesn't win a Super Bowl here, and they don't treat him right in the weeks to follow, then, I mean, I'm just saying, Cleveland, if I were them, I would be like doing everything, because they have so many of the right pieces. And he could go and just be a hero there and take them all the way. I don't necessarily feel like he has a lot of pressure on him. I feel like Stafford has a ton of pressure on him. Garoppolo, under his circumstances there, where we're just like waiting. We're waiting for him to make a mistake.
They're going to move on from him anyway, right, Mike?
But that's what I was about to say. Like, Garoppolo on borrowed time, he knows it. But Stafford, I would say this even before the wild card game, when he was 0-3, or his record as a starter to play was 0-3, is like, if Stafford poops the bed, that just means it was kind of like he just did what everybody expected of him anyway. Like, the pressure was more on the Rams for mortgage in the future to get him and build it and upgrade from Jared Goff. If they'd have come up short as a team from what they got with Goff, that's a bad look. If Stafford just Stafforded, I don't know, like, how many people are really expecting to be anything other than what he's always been?
You literally just turned his word into what, like a verb, or like it's
more or less. Did I do that right?
There's no. I mean, I don't. My use of I'm like, is that a verb? I'm literally racking my brain. What category does that fall under? Anyway, the point is, the way you're talking about Stafford, he would very much like to change, right? So yes, there's pressure on the Rams because they went to get him, but Stafford doesn't want to be talked about in this way. Stafford inevitably feels like he's got a ton to prove. And if he can take them to the Super Bowl, and I personally don't think it's Super Bowl or bust for the Rams. I think that they have reconstructed the way that they're building a team. I don't think it's all in on this year. And if they don't win it this year, then they're going to be gone next year and the year after and year after. I think that, anyway, that's a different conversation. But I think from a Stafford standpoint, he would very much like for people to stop talking about him that way. And I think there's a lot of pressure on him because the Rams, in a lot of ways, are the better team than the Bucs right now. Without Godwin, without AB, with a banged up Tristan Wirfs, when you start looking at the way that the rosters look, yes, they have the GOAT, but top to bottom, the Rams were built for this. This is a great matchup for the Rams.
And I know, Michael, you like the Rams. I just want to point this out to you, Michael. So Andrew Whitworth and Taylor Rapp are both officially out. Whitworth and Rapp are out. So that's something to keep in mind going into this game against that Bucs front. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
That is. Well, Lindsay, you talk about, Aaron Rodgers, and I agree with you. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have anything to prove legacy-wise. I mean, he is set. Now, Michael thinks more highly of Aaron Rodgers than I do. That's saying a lot because when I mentioned, Lindsay, the name of a little quarterback named Peyton Manning, and I said Peyton Manning is better than Aaron Rodgers, Mike was like, oh, we got to stop talking. How dare you put Peyton Manning, Lindsay, in the same sentence as
I didn't say
Aaron
don't
Rodgers.
put him in the same sentence. I didn't say don't put him in the same sentence. I see the sentence shouldn't start with Peyton Manning, but he's in the same sentence. But
He's definitely
Aaron's
in the same
better,
sentence.
right, Lindsay? But Aaron's better, right?
Well, they're different. And so I think it's hard to really gauge like which one is better because they just
we ask you to come on here and be reasonable and be all smart and nuanced and whatnot. Be unreasonable with us.
they do it so differently, and I love them so much, both of them, but for totally different reasons and in totally different ways. So I'm really bad at barroom debates about those kinds of like, hey,
you're
Kobe or
above the
LeBron. Like I can't do it because I do tend to be a little bit too gray.
No, you're good.
But no, that's good. We need to take on more of those characteristics. We need to do that. We need to be more of that. But I was going to ask you if you look at it, if you look at the Packers and Niners, and I see a lot of folks who make a connection to a couple of years ago, the Niners blew them out, and it really in San Francisco really wasn't close. My point is, this is a lot different this year. The Niners are not as healthy as they were then. Jimmy Garoppolo's a little shaky down the stretch in Dallas, and that was overshadowed by the officiating thing at the end. I think the Packers are better now than they were a couple of years ago. Do you expect that to be a close game? I know you like the Rams over the Buccaneers, but how about Packers-Niners? How do you see that game playing out?
I like the Packers to win. I think the Packers are the best team in the NFC, and I have them going to the Super Bowl. I think that this is going to be a close game. I think that the Niners could absolutely – I think that they match up well against them in that the Packers, you can run on them. I mean, they're one of the worst run defenses down the stretch. They were dead last in yards per carry allowed since week 10. And this is a team that has the weapons that will be able to do that against them. Elijah Mitchell has been great. Deebo Samuel, who's like not a wide receiver, even though we're going to call him that, but athlete Deebo Samuel, get him in that mix. I trust that Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme up the perfect thing, which, we're having all these conversations about all these coaching vacancies. And I feel like there are so many areas where I don't know if somebody would be a good head coach or not, but I see it with Kyle Shanahan. And I think anybody who follows football can see the ways that Kyle Shanahan's coaching is part of the reason that they are where they are as a team. And so I have a lot of faith that he's going to put them in the best position against Green Bay. And I think that the defense has deficiencies for Green Bay, and they're getting some pieces back, but who knows how long that'll take them to get up to speed. I see this as being a close game either way. Green Bay's played a lot of close games. I went back and looked at their schedule today, and even though they're getting all the wins, they're playing a lot of these good teams close, right? And even not good teams, they're close games. I think that's actually, that could be an advantage going into this time of year. But as long as you have Aaron Rodgers, I don't see San Francisco stopping him. They might slow him down and keep it close, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be just that X factor in this game and enough.
Well, you came to play with us. We appreciate you. Thank you for setting us straight, calming us down, talking us off, talking some sense into us, which we knew you would do. The show is the NFL Road Show podcast. Thank you so much. On Sirius XM Channel 87, Lindsay Rhodes, thank you so much for calling through. And hopefully we all enjoy this weekend. We deserve it after enduring Wild Card Weekend.
Yes, we do.
Take it easy.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.